Hello viewers, you are welcome to EPG Pathshala program. Today we are discussing about digital library marketing, which is part of the paper called Digital Libraries. You know, there has been a fast change over the contents which used to be in print media for centuries. Now everything is going digital, which has impact every sector including libraries, and the volume of information in digital format is tremendously increasing day by day. In digital libraries paper, we are discussing aspects related to technologies, aspects related to metadata, aspects related to softwares, aspects related to make these libraries usable. But unless we understand that whether these libraries will be useful over a period of time, it's very difficult for the sustainability of libraries and wherein the issue of marketing comes. In this module, we will try to know what are the general assumptions about marketing, what are the definitions of marketing, what are the functions of marketing, what are the functions of libraries, and how marketing is related to libraries and digital libraries based on their functionalities. We will also discuss why marketing is imperative for digital libraries and what are the important strategies. When we discuss about the assumptions, there are common assumptions among minds of people that marketing is a business activity, and most of the time it is related with making profit or having market share or for expansion of some business plan or so. But it is not so, because marketing is so important that it is part of every activity, not necessarily profit making ones. And for about 4 decades, rather more than that, when Philip Kotler propagated the idea of marketing for not-for-profit marketing, other institutions, organizations like libraries, hospitals, and other sectors of society started taking interest in marketing. Many a times, marketing is considered useful for goods or products, particularly industrial products. But it's not the case, because marketing is useful for everything, maybe it a service or product, because there is not much difference now between a service and a product, because every service can be transformed into a product and every product can be transformed into a service. The next assumption is related with the place of marketing in organizational activity. Generally, people think that marketing begins when product is ready, but it is not so, particularly for service institutions or service sector, wherein marketing is part of whole business, which is useful from start of a product to the end of product. Many a times, marketing is equated with selling, publicity, advertising, and promotion. But it is not so, because marketing is a big umbrella in which these all activities are covered, but even more than that, other activities are also covered and can be covered in this marketing. The common assumption is that marketing requires marketing specialist, and only marketing specialist can do marketing work. But this is not so. Marketing is a work which is required for everyone, particularly in service sector, maybe the people working in the front line or back line. All are required to have some kind of insights of marketing. Now we come to the point that what marketing is all about. When we look at the marketing text, there are many definitions of marketing, and over a period of time, the essence of definitions remains changing. And that is why we have taken 3 definitions of different times. The first definition we have is of 1935. I think it was the first definition of marketing, is that marketing is the performance of business activities that direct the flow of goods and services from producer to consumer. In this definition, you can see that the distribution and transportation function of marketing is the key activity which requires 4 organizations to be performed to transport or to transfer goods and services from producer to the consumers. Another definition came in 1985 from American Marketing Association, is that marketing consists of individual and organizational activities that facilitate and expedite exchange relationships in a dynamic environment through the creation, servicing, distribution, promotion, and pricing of goods and services and ideas. So, in this definition, key activities highlighted are exchange process. Marketing is an exchange process which is required in 2 parties. Something is giving and taking. You can call it selling and buying, or in some other ways. But some exchange needs to take place in marketing. It also highlights creation of something, maybe product or service or ideas, servicing to the customers, promotion of products, and pricing. These are important activities which have been highlighted in this definition. This is the definition of 2004, again by American Marketing Association, is that marketing is an organizational function and a set of processes for creating, communicating, and delivering value for customers and for managing customer relationships in ways that benefit the organization and its stakeholders. This is a very important definition, and it transforms marketing from one section to the organizational one. And that is why it called marketing as an organizational function. Also, set of processes and value is important to be delivered through these processes, and that must be communicated to the customers, and relationships becomes important. Not only that, it advocates for the benefits of both stakeholders and organizations. Until now, the focus was on benefit of organizations, but this definition calls for benefits of the stakeholders. So this is how the meaning of marketing has changed over the years. When we come to the library services, we have philosophical background in terms of techniques, in terms of values, in terms of skills, and in terms of some scientific way to organize libraries. We have 5 laws of library science as philosophical base to serve our users. But when we look at the 5 laws of library science with the marketing angle, we see that most of the activities performed through or by implication of these laws can be covered in marketing. For example, when we discuss the first law, books are for use, it's a maybe extension of this law can be optimum use of resources, facilities, and resources. But when we see from marketing angle, these resources, facilities, and services can be optimally used when there are appropriate information material acquired and this material is sufficiently used by the users. For making the users come to the library, it's necessary that it has convenient location, it uses effective signages, it is opened for longer hours, its staff is helpful to the users for using resources and services. When we look at the second law, meet every reader his or her book, meaning thereby meeting users' needs satisfactorily, and for that it's necessary to collect and interpret information about the users, understanding their needs and matching these needs with the organization resources. And when we think in marketing terms, this collection of information of the users, this is interpretation of information and understanding their needs, and this matching of resources with the needs of the users very well is the central point of marketing. Next law is every book its reader, means reaching out to the users. It requires some kind of publicity, not about the resources, but their values, their benefits, some promotional campaign, advocacy, public relation, public personal communications. These are all required to make this happen. And these are no doubt marketing jargons. The fourth law is save the time of users. In other way, we can ask for users' benefit and preferences to be kept in mind while serving the users. And that requires repackaging of information into the appropriate form, availability of information when they need, and ensuring quality of services and offerings. Again, are marketing implications of the fourth law. And the last law of library science, library is a growing organism, requires adaptation of the resources, services, organization to the future user needs. That requires some kind of mobilizing of resources, dealing with uncertainties about not only resources, but about the future needs, new services, new customer groups. And I think these are all marketing requirements you need to consider. If we relate these philosophies with the marketing, with digital input, we see that Ranganathan has pointed out the integration very well. Of course, he did not use the word marketing, did not use the word digital at the time, but when we insert in the gaps or we insert these terminologies as optional one to the conventional ones, the scenario is still relevant. What Ranganathan advocated. He advocated that the collection in the library, or we can say digital library, should have copies of all documents, or in digital library context you can say objects created. It should be able to give any information or knowledge out. Its organization should be perfect, like semantic web. Its potential for service should be supreme. It should be easy to select whatever is of the highest value through media integration, because in digital environment there will be many media in different formats, so integration is required. The instance a reader calls, all that can satisfy his specific want should be given to him expeditiously and in plenty. If we look at the functions of marketing, marketing functions include buying, selling, transporting, storing, standardization and grading, financing, risk taking, and market information functions. Buying is related with evaluating products and services to be bought. Selling involves personal sales as well as motivating people to buy something. Transporting is transferring products from producer to the consumers. Plus, storing is stocking and making available when there is a need or there is a buyer. Standardization and grading is related to categorizing the goods or products or service according to some parameters. Financing required for buying, selling, transportation, storing and all. So finance is very important again. Risk taking, because there is always a risk in business, and risk of non-use, risk of theft, risk of outdated of product likewise, and market information function, which is related with the statistics and data and information about the market itself. When we relate these 8 functions of marketing with the library functions, we see we acquire books, and the function acquisition function is very important, in which we select, we order, we acquire, and of course we make accessing and all. But buying or acquisition business or acquisition work is very important. Libraries are doing that. Selling, we do circulate books among the users. We disseminate information about the books or documents library has. Transport, in relation with transporting business, libraries give access to the sources not only at campuses only, but through other means, maybe by mobile van or maybe by branch libraries. So it is transporting business kind of thing. Storing, libraries are storing books for the future, so archiving work we do. Standardization and grading, I think this is the most important work libraries are doing. Financing, libraries also in deal with financing for all activities related to acquisitions, dissemination, access, archiving, storage, organizational activities. Risk taking, again uncertainties are there in libraries too, and libraries perform marketing information business by way of collecting statistics, making user studies and so on. So if you extend these activities, these functions of library, you have different activities which can be covered in marketing umbrella. When we are discussing about digital library marketing, we find some situation differently because terminologies are different, resources are different, delivery mechanisms different, activities are different. But when we see the functions of digital library in terms of marketing or traditional library kind of thing, we see that digital libraries are also involved in marketing functions by way of different activities. Say for example, buying function, digital libraries are acquiring or accessing or embedding or digitizing e-resources. For selling function, they are putting push services like alerts, RSS feeds, taggings and so on. For transporting function, they are making access to the whole of the world or wherever they want. For the storing function, digital libraries are archiving information in the digital formats. For standardization and grading, digital libraries have metadata standards and protocols. For financing, of course, project funding is required for any digital library to be started. Not only for starting a digital library, finance is required. Even for sustainability, funding is important. Risk taking, again, uncertainties are there of use or no use, or less use, or underuse. Marketing information functions is related with the analytics by which one can know how much of use is there, who are the users, which part of the digital library user belong to, and so on. So we have discussed the digital library marketing in context of traditional marketing functions. But if we move further, there are few areas which have become important for not only for marketing, but these areas are important for libraries as well. And not marketing and libraries, but for every organization which is information centered. And these areas include sharing of information, publishing, collaborating, socializing, branding and rebranding, and relations building. When we look at the digital library definitions, we see that in the definitions itself, there are marketing insights. Let us take the definition given by Smith, who defines digital library as controlled collections of information bearing objects that are in digital format and that may be organized, accessed, evaluated, and used by means of heterogeneous and extendable set of distributed services that are supported by digital technology. So you can see the terms, the functions: organized, accessed, evaluated, used, heterogeneous groups. These are all marketing terminologies which are well concealed in the definition of a digital library. Similarly, we discuss the Lynch definition, who describes digital library as a system providing a community of users with coherent access to large organized repository of digital information and knowledge. The digital library is not just one entity, but multiple sources seamlessly integrated. So here again, community of users, access, organized repository, multiple resources. I think all these are related, maybe with the digital library, but also marketing terminologies which are related to digital libraries. Another definition given by LASK is that organized collections of digital information that combine the structuring and gathering of information which libraries and archives have always done with the digital representation that computers have made possible. Digital information can be accessed rapidly around the world. Copies of preservation without error, stored compactly rather, and searched very quickly. A true digital library also provides the principles governing what is included and how the collection is organized. I think many of the issues raised in this definition are well covered in marketing kind of thing. The last definition we take is defined by ARMS. It defines digital libraries as managed collection of information with associated services where the information is stored in digital formats and accessible over a network. So all the definitions have some ideas which are centered and which are related with marketing itself. So marketing is not different from what a digital library is. It is inherent, it is intrinsic to the digital libraries. When we take decisions to build a digital library, we decide on many issues, not only while building, but throughout the process of building up a digital library. And when we discuss about these decisions, maybe of use, maybe related with technologies, maybe related with dissemination, maybe related with access. These are decisions which requires marketing insights. And here we discuss some decisions which, while developing a digital library is taken. For example, for whom digital library building, which are the key stakeholders or key users or key user groups of the digital library. Are not these marketing decisions whether or who are going to use or using the digital library? How many users are going to be benefited with the proposed digital library? What digital infrastructure will be required and how it will be upgraded? What type and how much material is readily available in digital media, and what new media or new material will be added? Are not these marketing decisions? Which of the material will be uploaded on the digital libraries platform? What sort of material will be digitized? Will there be cross-search facility to the users? Will it be participating in any joint facilities? Will there be any kind of restriction for access and use? What cost, both fixed and recurring, will be incurred? Whether any price tag will be put for users and services or resources? Is the project scalable? How should be information structured on the website? Are not all these decisions which require some kind of insight into marketing? Not only that, if we look further, how can be the website optimized for search engines? How can be the technology used to manage the customers? What channel can be used to get message out there and raise the profile of the library online? Is the website easy to use? Are email or mobile campaigns well received in the community? What is the number of visitors to the website per month, per day? What is the average length of time visitors are spent on the website? What are the most popular pages and products? What are the least popular products and pages? Are not all decision marketing oriented? If we think these decisions are important, then believe or not, these are all marketing decisions. Marketing and its role changes over a period of time, and marketing extends its activities when technology extends. It is rightly said that technology comes first and the marketing follows, because technology embodies adaptability, programmability, customizability, and marketing that delivers on these qualities. People are very important for every organization, including digital libraries. There are technologies, there are processes, there are support. But for whom these technologies are, for whom these processes are, for whom these support are made of? Unless the individual is taken care, unless these technologies, processes are responsive, unless these technologies, these processes and support are for making relations with the users, with the customers, with the stakeholders, because they have these choices, these offers, these aspirations, these desires changes very fast. So customers' choice, offer, value, desire, their individuality, responsiveness, relationship must be taken care of. While discussing about the situation of traditional library to the digital one, we had in past different value propositions, combining one from content, from context, and from the infrastructure. But now every part of value proposition must contribute some value to the customer. Content must be valuable to the user. Environment must be supportive. The delivery must have some value to be got by the users. Yes, this is very important. Technology has changed the behavior of the users. They are interconnected through various platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, like LinkedIn, and so on. Technology is leveling the information playing field. Means the users can also be involved in not only using information but contributing information by use of technology. Relevant filtering has become possible and increasing by day. Niche aggregation is growing. Small groups, not only of providers but of customers, they come together very quickly through different media. Micro publishing of personal content is coming out in a big volume. The customer has become producer, and that is why the prosumer kind of thing is emerging up. He's not only consumer, he is also contributor, he is also producer, he is also provider. And with the support of technology, delivery of service, delivery of content, delivery of information is possible anytime, any place, anywhere. When we discuss about digital library strategies, we need to see on the environment in which we are working. As we discussed, users are the central point of any organization, maybe digital or traditional. And there are technologies available. People are there to support these users. There are professionals like librarians, traditional one and digital one are there to support the users. There are applications and which this all must come together to support the users, which is the central of any organization. And these technologists, professionals, application softwares or technologies must come together to offer services, to offer access to not individually but collectively, not locally but globally, by different products, programs, services, and of course, when we talk of marketing, pricing becomes important. We will discuss later how pricing important and the pricing decisions could be anything. But it's very easy and should be to divide, to group the users based on various characteristics, maybe on the language basis, maybe on the age basis, maybe on the gender, employment, occupational, geographical, or on any parameter which is useful, which is helpful for the libraries to serve the users. Know your business. Libraries are essentially service institutions, and information is the core to the business of library and information centers. And the guiding principle is right information to the right user at the right time. But this information itself is becoming very important in all spheres of life. Information life cycle has changed in recent years. Traditionally, the information life cycle included acquisition, organization, storage, retrieval, landing or access, and dissemination. But with the application of technologies, this cycle extends from dissemination to use, to share, to apply, to create new knowledge, new information. And when we talk of digital information and digital library, every information is useful. And the products which are information based are the real service to the users. So every product becomes service and every product becomes service and every service becomes products. And of course, product life cycle time has been reduced drastically over years. While coming on knowing your competitors, as I have already discussed that customers are the main area of focus, and it's always necessary to focus on customers rather than focusing on competitors, because the information era, we never know who your competitors are. And again, copying competitor is a race to the bottom. It does not make sure for the success of the organization. But if you focus on the customers, it's almost sure you will be succeeded in the course of time. It's also necessary to know the customers. We have different group of customers based on their age, based on their knowledge, based on their skills. And we have, for example, we have Gen Y, Gen X, whatever we call, but the present day users are well informed, maybe many a times better informed than what we are. They are more demanding. They do not want to wait. They want the service, the product quickly, faster. And if their needs are not met, they go to some other organization for the service or the product, and they are very fast again to share their opinion very freely, frankly. They of course form new social groups, and the power transfers to the users. What do you want to achieve? It's also again necessary, because we all, while developing a digital library, talk of digital technologies, digitization, digital preservation, digital resources access, digital resource use. But are we clear of what we want to achieve? How long this digital library is going to? How many of users we want to meet their requirements, and so on. So these are important things. While discussing on marketing mix strategy, as you all know, product is very important. The product can be service, the product can be idea, product can be anything. In digital library context, product can be from metadata to the whole text. Product can be search experience. Product can be experience over a website. So product can be anything. When we talk of place, there is no physical place as such, but the place in terms of marketing strategy, it's necessary to consider geographically which users we want to address. Promotion is very important. Technology has tremendous opportunity to promote anything, and price. While we were discussing earlier, the price is important. If you offer service for free, it is a pricing decision. To make service free, it does not mean that the offer is priceless. So there is a need for right mix of product, place, promotion, and prices. The larger part of the work of digital library is to be delivered through some web presence, and where there is a need for a web marketing strategy, there is a need to clearly define how search engine can help the digital library, how links with the websites of other organizations, with the directories of similar kind of work and all are made deal with, how social media can help the library to deliver and to have feedback from the users, how traditional media can be useful, how email campaign, how email communication can be useful, paid advertisement, and of course learning ethics, or not learning analytics, how information analytics can be useful for offering the service. And this is the last part of the presentation, that we must have some reviewing strategies, some kind of mechanism of feedback from the users, from the stakeholders, some assessment over the products and services, some studies over the uses of different kind of resources, some measurement of the performance over a period of time, and the analysis of benefits derived out of the efforts you have put on. These are important things. So what we have seen is that digital libraries are important area of work which requires various aspects of digital library to be discussed. One important aspect is marketing, and we have seen that marketing is a natural activity for digital libraries, we must understand, we must take marketing as natural sequence of what we do, how we do, for whom we do, and how the nature of our service is changing. If marketing is not seen as natural activity, it is somewhere misunderstood and misplaced. Thank you very much.